Our last 3 seasons have come down to 2 games to achieve one objective: make the final of the Europa League. It's no secret that we've had a pretty easy run in the competition so far, easily finishing first in our group. We should have had a tough test in the round of 16, but we beat Manchester United 6-2 on aggregate, and RC Lens proved no threat in the quarterfinals either. And now we are matched up with Ajax, a football club absolutely steeped in history and whose list of former great players is longer than most. Cruyff, Kluivert, Seedorf, Bergkamp, and their list of former achievements is not exactly short either, having won the Europa League previously, as well as winning 4 Champions Leagues. Here in 2027, they still have some talented players, including Steven Bergwijn, Amin Gyuri, Jonathan Ikone, Manu Kone, Giuliano Simeone, and Josip Sutalo. However, they are by no means the European powerhouse of former years. So with Villarreal and Newcastle, the other semi-finalists, I do think we have continued our lucky streak with the draw in the semi-final. So that first leg at the Johan Cruyff Arena will be our featured game of today's episode. First, however, we'll be traveling to the Etihad to take on Manchester City, and we'll be rounding things out with highlights of an away match against Leeds at Elland Road. Each of those games will be in the Premier League, where we currently sit in 7th position, chasing down the likes of Manchester United and Aston Villa in the European places. However, at this stage, booking a place in the final is our top priority, so Graham Potter has rotated the 11 for this game against Manchester City. Ben Godfrey, Noah Mbamba, James Justin come into the back line. Lewis Ferguson and Josh De Silva pair up in midfield, whilst Jack Harrison and Reece Nelson support Gerard Deulofeu up front. And as expected, Manchester United started the game very brightly. Former Everton man Moise Kean causing problems for the defence early on. Jordan Pickford having to parry away at his near post. And a little over 20 minutes into the game, it was Moise Kean who opened the score, and he made a nice run between Noah Mbamba and Ahmed Hodzic, picked up the ball in the penalty area. Jordan Pickford was all on his own, couldn't make the stop. Pickford made a number of saves to keep us in it in the first half, parrying this shot away from Bernardo Silva from the edge of the box. We had our fair share of chances in the first half, and we actually played surprisingly well against top of the table Man City, but just after the break, Moise Kean did double the lead, again finding space in the penalty area, again a clinical finish past the out-rushing Jordan Pickford, and that goal really knocked the wind out of our sails for a while. We were playing well, we didn't deserve to be 2 goals behind, but we did rally and start to work our way back into the game. Ederson, though, fantastic save from Deulofeu. With about 20 minutes left to play, we did have a lifeline. Ederson got the better of Deulofeu with the last opportunity. Deulofeu turned the tables with this one, burying the ball past Ederson into the far corner to make it 2-1. Man City really turned up the heat, and it looked for a while as if they might be the team to score next. Jordan Pickford again being called upon to parry away a shot from the edge of the box, this time from Rodri. But with a minute left to play, Lewis Dobbin played the ball into Lewis Ferguson, who pulled it back for Luka Waldschmidt, and we were the team to put the ball in the back of the net for the next and final time in the game, and we somehow come away with the 2-2 draw. It looked for long periods as if we were going to leave the Etihad with nothing to show for our efforts, but we did put in a really good performance. It would have been pretty harsh to leave with no points. Man City were the better side, but we definitely hung in there, and we did well to come away with a draw at the very least. Man City are cruising their way to another Premier League title, so to come away from the Etihad with a point is certainly admirable. But that does bring us to our featured game of the episode, a semi-final in the Europa League against Ajax. We've said it numerous times in recent episodes, but I'll say it once more again here today. This is the most important game of the series so far, and one of the most important games in Everton's recent history. Staying in the Premier League was obviously a big deal. Finishing in a Europa League spot last season, obviously important too. But actually going on to win the competition would be a huge step for the club. But we have a tough task standing in our way. Ajax have won 3 of their last 5 matches, and they are unbeaten at least in the last 5. We have caught a slight break today, though, as Manu Kane is unavailable, having been red carded in their previous game. So it will be a strong 11 featuring Sutalo at centre-back. Jordan Henderson plays in central midfield for Ajax today alongside Van den Boomen, and Giuliano plays up front alongside Yorko and Gyuri. The preseason report suggests that Ajax are going to focus their attacking play down the wing, but it does look as though they're going to be patient in their build-up, just as we like to be. Defensively, it does look like they're not going to press too high or too aggressively either, so it could be a potentially cagey game. Graham Potter's starting 11 has pretty much been picking itself of late, but there are a couple of areas where decisions needed to be made. Firstly, Isaac Toure starts at centre-back alongside Kevin Danzo and Arnel Ahmed-Hodzic. Scott McTominay gets the nod today alongside Anton Stack in midfield. So we are away from home. We do want to set up a little bit more defensively. And then Reiss Nelson and Alain Saint-Maximin start alongside Matheus Cunha up front. We've got off to a great start in the first leg in each of the previous 2 rounds, beating Manchester United 5-2 away from home and then beating RC Lens 4-0. So without further ado, let's head over to the Johan Cruyff Arena and see if we can get off to an equally good start in the first leg of the semi-finals. So we are up in the commentary box for the semi-finals of the Europa League. It's going to be a cagey, tightly contested affair, I would imagine, here in Amsterdam. Both teams setting up to keep the ball. Both teams setting up to, I would say, defend a clean sheet first and foremost. And I think if the game plays out that way, we are going to be far more happy with that than Ajax. However, Isaac Toure, big call to play him at centre-back today. He's given the ball away early. He is young, he is inexperienced, and that inexperience has shown. Good save, Jordan Pickford. Not the start we were hoping to have. Jordan Henderson starting for Ajax in midfield today. Of course, a long-time Liverpool player. Liverpool legend, potentially, you could say. Not quite on the level of a Steven Gerrard or a Jamie Carragher, but he's probably in the next tier below, I would say. Another chance for Ajax early here as they win a header at the back post from the corner, and we need to settle a little bit here. Isaac Toure giving the ball away early and inviting unwanted pressure. Not an ideal start to the game, but as I was saying, if each team can defend their clean sheet, I think we probably have to be happier with that than Ajax, being the away team. We can go back to Goodison Park having not conceded. Then I don't mind too much whether or not we've scored. Of course, we're going to try and score. And of course, going back with a 1 or a 2-0 victory would be ideal. But I think first and foremost, we have to ensure that we don't go back to Goodison Park behind. Alain Saint-Maximin, as he has been ever since joining the club, is going to be one of our primary methods of attack down the left-hand side. Matheus Cunha through the middle has been in pretty good goal-scoring form since returning from his injury. And that's a foul in the centre circle by Ahmed-Hodzic. So we'll be looking Cunha's way when we can as well. That's a big header, Isaac Toure. That's what we need from him. And I mean, to be fair, that's what he excels at. Dealing with aerial threats. We knew when we signed him that he wasn't going to be immediately a player who would make a big difference playing the ball across the back, and that actually he would be potentially somewhat of a liability in that regard. So the fact that he did give the ball away early, I mean, that's something that we signed up for when we made the purchase. Good challenge, Alain Saint-Maximin. Ahmed-Hodzic, Toure. Finds Kevin Danzo. Nathan Patterson. Reiss Nelson in behind. And that's such a poor pass. That's an equally poor touch from the Ajax man, though. And it looked for a moment as if Reiss Nelson might end up with the ball anyway. But the goalkeeper does well to take the ball down in front of his own goal and redistribute. Alain Saint-Maximin away on the left-hand side, though. We've seen him cut inside and score numerous times in recent episodes, this time parried away by the goalkeeper. I feel like we've seen him score a goal like that in the last 2 episodes consecutively, potentially. Maybe the last 2 rounds of the Europa League. And we've certainly come to be familiar with that particular approach from Alan Saint-Maximin. Scott McTominay. That's something else we've become familiar with since he's joined the club. He's been an excellent target from set pieces. And there's Cunha. Is he onside? Referee's whistle doesn't blow. Linesman's flag stays down. 15 minutes into the game, we are 1-0 up. I was certain the offside flag was going to be raised there. But Matheus Cunha must have just been kept onside by the centre-back. And way up in the rafters, the Everton fans rejoice as they watch their side take a 1-0 lead, and he was way onside. Matheus Cunha, it was a really tidy finish. Waiting for the ball to drop onto his left foot, tucks it into the bottom corner. And I think actually there may have been 2 Ajax defenders keeping him onside. But what a fantastic start to the game. Shaky opening couple of minutes. But we've certainly taken control since then. And 15 minutes in, we are 1-0 up. So we've given ourselves a little bit of leeway now. Who's free kick? Ajax free kick. I mean, they actually had the advantage there. So I'm surprised the referee pulled that back for an Ajax free kick. I thought it must have been our free kick. Good header, Reece Nelson. Knocked down by Saint-Maximin and into the path of Nathan Patterson. Finds Reece Nelson. There's Saint-Maximin once more. Reece Nelson outside him. Close control, not good enough though. It's not often you say that about Saint-Maximin, but on that occasion certainly true. So we have given ourselves a little bit of leeway. We can now concede and still avoid going back to Goodison Park with a deficit to overcome. But of course, that makes our top priority even more so now, keeping a clean sheet. Because if we do that, we are guaranteed to be ahead going into the second leg. And Ajax man is down. We are not putting the ball out of play. By no means. And I'm pretty sure it's their left back as well. Nathan Patterson exploiting the opportunity. Scott McTominay. I thought that was in. I thought that was in. I was all but ready to watch the net ripple. That must have been just wide. The goalkeeper was nowhere close. There can't have been much in that. I was certain that was a goal. And we'll see if Ajax have to make a change here early in the game, as Martins is injured. And that is indeed their left back. I think a youth academy prospect. And we'll see if he continues for much longer. But it did look a painful one as he went down in our attacking third, or in our defensive third rather. Isak Touré again wins the header. Saint-Maximin. An industrious challenge, but a fair one according to the referee. And I think the Ajax man did get the ball, to be fair to him. Danzo finds Patterson. We can just keep the ball a little bit here. Ajax are sitting off, so I see no reason to step onto them. We can wait for them to step onto us and then try and exploit the gaps they leave in behind. And if they don't step onto us, then fine, we can just keep possession. Maxim de Kuiper. Ahmed Hodzic. Touré. And Ajax are reluctant to step up too much. So we can just keep the ball. Ahmed Hodzic. Now we could have something. Maxim de Kuiper. Space on this left-hand side now. Alan Saint-Maximin in behind. He's not going to get there. He's going to press high, though. Try and force a mistake from the Ajax back line. And that's almost what he managed to do. Sliding in to try and block that clearance from the goalkeeper. Cunha finds Saint-Maximin. There's Anton Stack with a shot from range that's blocked. Looking to curl it into that far corner. Blocked immediately by Ajax, though. And Isak Touré is caught out of position. Anton Stack can take over and win the ball back. Fantastic midfield play, Anton Stack. He's been a superb signing. a potential name for signing of the series, let alone of the season. Stack once more. Just finds Kevin Danzo. Nathan Patterson. And half an hour in, this is comfortable. Patterson once more. Reece Nelson in behind. Not enough on it, and he's offside. That was less than ideal. Only just offside as well. Home fans very much get behind their team now. Beyond those first couple of minutes of the game, Ajax haven't really been able to take control at all here. Ahmed Hodzic steps up but is beaten. Isak Toure comes across to make the challenge but sends it wide instead. Maxime de Kuyper cuts it out but can't clear to Saint-Maximin. Good defending. Isak Toure gets a foot in, puts it out for a corner. A little bit of momentum building for the home team potentially as we move into the final 10 minutes of the half. And that's going to be cleared away by Scott McTominay. Only as far as an Ajax man, though. Pulled across the penalty area. Good save, Jordan Pickford. Nicely worked from Ajax. And it was a comfortable save for Pickford. One we should be expecting him to make. But a sight of goal did open up there. Pickford had to dive away low and to his left-hand side. Maxime de Kuyper will come across to stop the short corner. Can't quite stop the cross, however. Anton Stack collects. Scott McTominay sets it clear for Nathan Patterson on the right-hand side. Not too much going on up ahead of him, though. The referee is playing advantage. I probably would rather have had the game stopped there. Maxime de Kuyper. And with only about 7 or 8 minutes left in the half, I'm content to just try and keep the ball. Don't think we need to push for a second goal. Hasn't quite gone as well for us in this first leg as it has in the previous two. We had a 3 and a 4 goal deficit advantage by the end of the first leg in the last 2 rounds. What is that? Why are you doing that to Kuyper? Just wanted you to chip the ball ahead to Saint-Maximin. And he's doing some unnecessary trick for some reason. Saint-Maximin tracking back on our left. Ajax's right. Good challenge again, Maxime de Kuyper. Can we create one final opportunity in this first half? De Kuyper. What are you doing to Kuyper? First that unnecessary trick. Now I've powered up a ground pass and he's just tapped it forward. Barely an inch. No idea what De Kuyper is doing. And now Scott McTominay is offside. He needs to get his head in the game, Maxime de Kuyper. Jordan Henderson gets a book, and I can't even remember what for at this stage. Oh, it was when the referee played advantage and we would have preferred a free kick. That was certainly a booking. Ajax trying to create one final opportunity of this first half. Cut out, though, by Anton Stack. And then eventually by Alain Saint-Maximin. And maybe we will have the final opportunity of the half. Can we find Matheus Cunha inside? Just about. Reece Nelson on the right-hand side. Cuts it on into his left. Blocked by Ajax. Scott McTominay is offside. All he needed to do was turn and shoot. The initial shot from Nelson blocked. Fell to Scott McTominay. And it was a really good touch. Unfortunately, that touch is made in an offside position, though. And Ajax will clear away. Isak Toure with a poor header right into the path of an Ajax man. And we're just looking to defend stoutly here for the last seconds of the first half. We managed to do just that, and the referee's whistle does go. So it's going to be an advantage at half-time, just a narrow one. But we will certainly take an advantage, no matter how narrow it might be. Matheus Cunha's goal put us ahead. And it is that Matheus Cunha goal that we are going to continue to try to defend into the second half and into the second leg. So back out for the second half at the Johan Cruyff Arena. And I don't think we are ready to drop into our defensive game plan just yet. Because I think we should spend the first 15-20 minutes or so of the second half looking for a second goal. Potentially being a bit more forward thinking than we were in the final 20 minutes of the first half. As Scott McTominay wins the ball high up the pitch. Reece Nelson. Matheus Cunha making a run up ahead of him. Reece Nelson surrounded by Ajax defenders though. And does eventually lose possession. Maybe Nelson could have released the ball a little sooner. But chose to hold on to it using that run from Matheus Cunha as a decoy. But it didn't work out. Nice ball through to the Ajax striker though. Kevin Danso stands him up into a shooting position. And Jordan Pickford again has made a really, really good save. That was Ajax's best chance of the game so far. And it was a very, very good one. If the shot was a little better, tucked into the corner slightly more, maybe there would have been issues for Jordan Pickford. But instead it was straight at him. And Alan Saint-Maximin. No! How can that possibly be an Ajax free kick? He was all over Saint-Maximin there. And yet the Ajax man gets the decision. Bizarre call from the referee. But Ajax have come out for this second half with the exact same intention that we have. Get on the score sheet. And they are poised to do that once more as they have committed several bodies forward. And it is going to be a free kick in a dangerous position. Ajax certainly have come out with more attacking intensity in this second half. And cleared away by Scott McTominay. A really brave header. Putting his body in harm's way. Good defender, Matheus Cunha. And again, we get the advantage. But again, I would probably rather have a free kick there. We're not exactly in an advantageous position. But Danso does well to find Nathan Patterson. And we can slow this game down again. Once more. Matheus Cunha. Poor pass. Saint-Maximin just about gets to it. But Matheus Cunha had sold him out a little bit there. Scott McTominay. Kevin Danso. Ajax doing a much better job of containing us here in the second half already as well. I said before the game that the scout report suggested they wouldn't be pressing high or particularly aggressively. That has changed here in the second half. They are pinning us back in our own half when we do get the ball. And that can potentially open up gaps in behind, but the press has been good and disciplined so far. Saint-Maximin does steal the ball away though. Is away down this left-hand side. Whoever that Ajax defender is pacey. Managed to keep up with Saint-Maximin. Maxim de Kuiper. I think that's a corner. We'll certainly take it. As we approach the hour mark, Gerard de La Fay looking on from the sideline. Along with Graham Potter. No changes to make just yet, though. Instead, Saint-Maximin will deliver the corner. It's in search of Scott McTominay, who wins the header. Couldn't turn it towards goal, though. Turned it more so towards Anton Stack, if anything. And that is a rash challenge. Lunging in the Ajax man. It's going to be a booking at the very least. I'd be surprised if it's a red. And it is just a yellow card for the Ajax man. And it's going to be a free kick in a relatively dangerous position, though. Too far from goal to take a shot on, I would say. That could have been a red, seeing that on second glance. Kone comes off for Ajax to be replaced by Mikhail Tadzi, I want to say. Maybe we could shoot here with Cunha. I'm not sure I love it, though. We're just going to chip it in for, hopefully, Saint-Maximin to run onto the end of. Saint-Maximin at the back post. Almost got there. It's a nice idea from Cunha. Ahmed Hodzic finds de Kuiper. And again, it was Reece Nelson at the back post that time, actually. De Kuiper didn't quite put enough on the cross. But we do win the ball back again in midfield. That's something we have done very well today. Anton Stack in particular, but as a team, really, we've been very good at winning the ball back quickly when we lose possession. Isak Toure gives the ball away again. His inexperience and his lack of ability with the ball at his feet is really shown today. Fortunately, his defensive ability is also shown at times. And we are fortunate there that it was a loose touch from the Ajax man, because we were in trouble. We do relinquish possession though, and Ajax on the attack once more. Just 2 players back in their own half at this stage, and now just a single player back in their own half. So if we can find the likes of Reiss Nelson or Allan Saint-Maximin on the quick counter-attack, as we have done here, then Ajax could be in trouble. Does just go out for a throw-in though, and an opportunity for Graham Potter to make a change or 2. So 2 changes at this stage for Graham Potter. Gerard Deulofeu to come on for Matheus Cunha, and Scott McTominay to make way for James Garner. About 25 minutes left to play. Stoppage time included. Don't imagine there'll be too much stoppage time at this stage. Nice ball through to Nathan Patterson though, who's made a very good run. Finds Deulofeu, or does he? He doesn't quite. Poor pass from Nathan Patterson back into the path of Deulofeu. Would have had an opportunity to shoot from the edge of the box. And Saint-Maximin, that's such a poor cross. We've had some really, really bizarre passes and crosses today. A couple with Maxim de Kuyper, another one there from Saint-Maximin. Just trying to look for Deulofeu in the box, and he puts it nowhere close. Nice little turn from the Ajax defender to get out of trouble there. And Nathan Patterson can't quite get his foot on the ball. Kevin Danzo is going to be tasked with stopping the attack instead. And he does manage at least to slow it down. James Garner can't win it back though. Anton Stack comes over to cover. Nathan Patterson also back in his defensive position as well. Reiss Nelson finds Gerard Deulofeu. Reiss Nelson with a good run, but cut out well by the Ajax man. Deulofeu gets a booking for his earlier challenge, which was late. And there's Anton Stack. Maxim de Kuyper. I think potentially we will drop into our defensive game plan sooner rather than later, because we don't particularly look like scoring again. And I would very much like to take a 1-0 lead back to Goodison Park. Good challenge, Ahmed Hodzic. Maxim de Kuyper holds on to the ball. Anton Stack just pokes it into the space where James Garner can collect. He finds Gerard Deulofeu. Big sweep and ball across the field looking for Saint-Maximin, but there's far too much on it. And with 15 minutes left to go, I think we will drop into our defensive game plan as Ajax make another change. Owen Wijndal coming on. So we'll drop into a flat midfield 4. And we will just try and see this game out with the scoreline as it stands. Good challenge again, Anton Stack. That cannot be a free kick. That simply cannot be a free kick. I think it was the linesman flagging for that one rather than the referee giving it immediately. I think the referee should have just trusted his initial judgment. Well worked, Ajax. Isak Toure beaten. Jordan Pickford beats the ball away. Toure has been a very good signing for us so far, but he has looked out of his depth today, it has to be said. He's been excellent in the air, but he has been poor with the ball at his feet, and he has been beaten one-on-one on a couple of occasions. Keep making that run, James Garner. Can we find Deulofeu? Not quite. Ajax certainly looked like the team more likely to score in these closing stages, but I wouldn't be surprised if we managed to nick a goal on the break. Good challenge, Kevin Danzo. Again, we can't find Deulofeu though. We're giving up possession far too easily when we get it. And I'm doing that mostly because I'm trying to nick a second goal. Good save, Jordan Pickford. Cleared away somehow. I think that was Kevin Danzo heading clear. And we are really under the cosh. Rhys Nelson just finds Danzo. We want to get the ball up the field because Ajax are pressing high and aggressively. I don't just want to give it back to Ajax though. Nathan Patterson is the man to find himself with the ball at his feet, running in behind. And he can't quite finish. Maybe if the roles were reversed there and it was Nathan Patterson laying it into the path of Rhys Nelson, maybe we would have had a second goal. But Jordan Henderson, defensive midfielder, is making way for Steven Bergwijn. So we could probably do making a change here as well to counter that. So it's going to be 2 more changes for Graham Potter. Lewis Dobbin to come on for Alan Saint-Maximin and Rhys Nelson to make way for James Justin. So Maxim de Kuyper is going to step up into that left midfield role. James Justin going to sit just behind him at left wing back. Kevin Danzo almost doubles the score, and what a save by the Ajax goalkeeper. 5 minutes from time, that would have been a huge boost to our quest to make the final of this competition if we could have doubled our lead. Deulofeu this time the target. Lewis Dobbin takes it down on the edge of the box. Finds Ahmed Hodzic. There's James Garner. Deulofeu in there. Claimed by the goalkeeper. A superb save. A brave claim. Really good work from the Ajax keeper to keep them in this game. And we will just try and keep the ball for these last handful of minutes away from home. Ajax once more sitting off slightly. Potentially content to be down just 1 goal heading into the second leg. We would certainly be content to be up 1 goal going into the second leg. Ahmed Hodzic finds Stack. And just carries the ball up the field. I don't hate that as a tactic at all. And eventually gives it away. What? Some of the close control on this game. I don't understand why Anton Stack Body would have done that in that situation. It's like faking a step over or something. I'm not even touching the stick. Lewis Dobbin. Nice little run down this right-hand side. Can't quite cut inside and get the shot away. Nathan Patterson finds a bit of space in the box though. Gerard Deulofeu straight at the keeper. What a chance. 2 minutes deep into 3 minutes of injury time. Gerard Deulofeu found himself with the ball at his feet, 5 yards from goal. And put the shot straight at the keeper. There is the final whistle though. And although we may come to rue those chances at the end of the game that we failed to take, we do manage to win a narrow 1-0 victory. But we do have the advantage after the away leg, and we go back to Goodison Park with momentum, with a lead to defend, and with the ball firmly in our court in terms of making the final of the competition. Really solid performance away from home. So just as we predicted, a pretty tough, cagey, tightly fought affair. Few chances, handful at the end of the game, but not too many to speak of just before that. And it looks as though the other semi-final fixture was just as tightly contested because Newcastle drew 1-1 with Villarreal. So both fixtures really nicely poised for the second leg. We'll make the second leg our featured game in the next episode, but we'll round out today's episode with an away fixture against Leeds in the Premier League. And I'm really not looking forward to this one. I hate playing against Leeds. They usually cause me no end of issues, particularly Jorginho Ruter, who starts in the number 10 for them today. Angel Correa up front. Ilan Meslier is still in goal for them. Robin Koch, Maximilian Verba, Jamie Shackleton, all still playing for Leeds at this point alongside Gruev. And the task is going to be tougher than usual because we have had to rotate the 11 somewhat. James Tarkowski comes back into the side. James Justin starts at left back. Garner and Lewis Ferguson are a fresh midfield too. Lewis Dobbin and Luca Waldschmidt come in up front. And it's usually Leeds that cause us problems, but we cause them no end of problems today. Luka Waldschmidt opened the score in about 20 minutes in with one of the ugliest goals I've ever seen. It was initial tackle from Robin Koch to prevent him from scoring, but he tapped the rebound between Illan Melié's legs. And just 10 minutes later, half an hour into the game, we would have a second. Luka Waldschmidt, turn and goal creator this time, playing a really nice pass in front of Lewis Ferguson, who tapped it past a helpless Illan Melié to make it 2-0. We had no end of chances in the first half. When we weren't hitting Leeds on a quick counter-attack, we were building slowly, methodically, passing through the lines. Luka Waldschmidt again, turn and goal creator, but James Garner couldn't take the opportunity in the way that Lewis Ferguson could. And whilst Leeds did press to get back into the game, of course that just opened up gaps in behind. Lewis Dobbin came on, and his fresh legs and pace down the left-hand side exploited those gaps, and he tucked a tidy shot away into the far corner to make it 3 before Luka Waldschmidt grabbed his second of the game about 10 minutes from time. Jack Harrison, against his former club, again pulled the ball across the penalty area. This time it was Luka Waldschmidt waiting at the back post. So a really good performance and a really good result to round out an excellent episode. We get a point away from home at Man City. We take the lead in the first leg in the Europa League, and we absolutely dominate Leeds, which sets things up perfectly for the next episode, which could, in theory, be our last episode if Ajax manage to overcome that 1-0 deficit and knock us out of the Europa League. This will be the final episode of the series. Obviously, we hope there will be one more featuring a final, but we will feature all 4 of these games in the next episode. We will play the Ajax game in full since it is so close, just a 1-0 lead in the first leg. And you'll see highlights of a Merseyside derby against Liverpool at Goodison Park. And we've actually got 3 home games to round out the season. Crystal Palace and Wolves the other 2. So we'll look forward to that in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.